What is up, everybody? How are you guys doing? I hope that you guys are doing okay. I hope that you guys are doing all right. Hmm. Okay. Hmm.
Peña, no deje por ahí mis lentes. Ay, Peña,
Hmm.
no. Ok, pues que les encargo por si fue más temprano. Ajá, ok. ¿Quién es esa? Oh,
All right, guys.
¿por qué? Ok, anda, pues, bye.
All right, guys. Can you guys hear me? Okay, so let's go ahead and dive deep onto what is happening with Jim Carrey and why people think that he was cloned. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this. All right, so, all right, so, all right, everyone. Let's get into this first tea of the night. All right, so people online have been talking about Jim Carrey again after a recent appearance, and the internet is doing what the internet does best, creating wild theories about why Jim Carrey looks different. And the internet's just gonna create their own ideas. They're gonna say like, oh, he was cloned. And honestly, the way that he looks, I might actually believe it. And I posted some pictures right there in the chat, I mean in the video on the thing. But what's it called, some people online are actually saying that he looks so different that he might have been cloned or replaced. And if you guys look at, I think he was doing like a like film awards or something like that. It was the Caesar Awards in France. So like he went to Paris, and he did it right there. He gave a speech in French, which is pretty cool. He did say that he practiced a lot, and he actually sounds exactly the same. To me, he sounds exactly the same. So now, obviously, that's a pretty extreme claim, but the reason people are talking about it is because they think he looks very different from how he used to look years ago. Okay? People say that he looks extremely different. People say that he looks extremely, extremely different. And you know what? I think he does. And honestly, I think he really does look a whole, like, really, really different. So I'm going to go ahead and put a picture of him right here. Let's see. Let me see if I can find a picture of him. Okay, so I'll go ahead and find a. Okay, so let's see, dude, and oh my god, like he looks extremely different. Oh my god, like it's crazy how different he looks. It is insane. Okay, now obviously it's a pretty big claim. The internet is gonna be like, obviously saying that he looks completely different, and he really does look really different. Okay, let's go ahead and change this. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Alright, so people think that he looks extremely different, and you know what? He really does. He really does look really different. It looks extremely different. Okay, let's bring the chat up. Okay, so alright, so he looks completely different, bro. Bro, he looks insanely different. Jim Carrey new face. All right. All right. So, why does he look so different? Let's go ahead and explore this. I honestly think that he might have probably gotten some, what's it called, some plastic surgery. But let's go ahead and dive deep into this. Let's go ahead and solve the mystery. All right, so now obviously that's a pretty extreme claim that he was cloned, but the reason people are talking about it is because they think he looks very different from how he used to look years ago. Obviously, it's not even that he looks different years ago, it's that he looks different from last year. Okay, he looks extremely different from last year. Okay, he does not look the same at all. It does not even look the same at all. His eyes even changed a little bit of color. There usually has like brown eyes, but now he's like got like some really light brown greenish eyes. Okay, chat. Let me ask you guys something right away. Do you think that the internet sometimes takes things too far, especially with this conspiracy theory about Jim Carrey? What do you guys think? Do you guys think that he was maybe replaced? If you guys know Jim Carrey, you guys know that every time he goes on the Jimmy Kimmel show or every time he does some type of interview, he freaking exposes like the secret organizations. He exposes the freaking Illuminati. Last time, if you guys were watching him on the Jimmy Kimmel show, he comes out going like this. He comes out going like this on the Jimmy Kimmel show. He's like coming out like this, and then going like, and then like he tells Jimmy Kimmel like, "Oh, Jimmy Kimmel, you know what we're doing, like you know what we're talking about, Jimmy Kimmel. Like, come on, bro. Like telling everybody, like, come on, bro. Like, obviously Jimmy Kimmel knows what the heck he's talking about because he's Jimmy Kimmel and he's like in the Illuminati, obviously. But like it's crazy how like he tries to like put people like make people like admit that they're like in the Illuminati. Like Jimmy Kimmel's not gonna admit that he's in the Illuminati, obviously, if he's freaking what's it called? Like going undercover or something. Like like he's not gonna admit that he's like in the Illuminati. Come on, bro. Like, you think he's really gonna admit to that? Do you think he's really gonna admit to being in the Illuminati? Like, do you really think that he's gonna do that? How come my light's not working? Guys, how come my light's not working? Bro, what the heck? How come my light wasn't working right now? That is so weird. That is so weird.
Shoot her there, Nana. Shoot her there. I dare to sleep in the little fort for a day. Until the morning. I dare you to there. You have to do it. You have to do it there.
Alright, guys. Sorry.
But what's your...
Oh my god. Oh, what the heck? No way. Oh my god. No freaking way. Damn. I'm gonna broke my thingy-mabobber. Well, that's not working. What happened? I know, I'm probably gonna have to do that. Ma, ¿qué hizo de comer?
Tú dijiste que no querías.
Oh, all of a sudden.
No andan por ahí. Te voy a hacer un burro de frijoles con queso. Sí, no.
Un burro de frijoles con queso.
Un poquito de carne.
Y un poquito de carne.
¿Sí o no?
Sí. Alright. Alright. Sorry, guys. I'm like all over the place. Right? Alright, then. So, let's get back to the thing. Alright, guys. So now, obviously, that's a pretty extreme claim, but the reason people are talking about it is because they think that he looks very different from how he used to look last year. Okay, now here's what people online are pointing out. First, they say his face looks different compared to the older interviews. Second, some people think his energy and personality seems different, which honestly, I think it almost looks, I mean, it feels the same. He's acting wacky and shit. From the super high energy comedian we saw in the 90s and the early 2000s. Now, remember, this is the same guy who played crazy characters in movies like Ace Ventura and The Mask, so people remember him as being extremely animated. But here's the thing, celebrities also age, their lifestyles change, and sometimes they just become more calm as they get older, which is true. I mean, shit, I would become calmer, like, if I was older. Okay. Okay, now let's look at both sides of this argument. Side one: some people online believe celebrities are part of the strange Hollywood system where weird things happen behind the scenes. They point out things like celebrities acting different later in life, changes in appearance, sudden personality shifts. Now, again, those are internet theories, but that's what people are saying. Okay? Side two: other people say that this is simply aging, lighting, makeup, or camera angles. When someone is in their 60s, of course they're going to look different from they were in their 30s. Okay, chat? Which side are you on? Which side do you think is true? What do you guys think? Okay, now here's my opinion. I think sometimes the internet just loves a mystery or a conspiracy story. When people see something like slightly different like this, the brain starts trying to fill in the gaps with theories. And when thousands of people repeat the same theory online, suddenly it starts to feel real. Alright, guys, so let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Let me know what you guys are thinking or, trying to think. Alright, so why does Jim Carrey look so different? I mean, seriously, why does he look so different? Honestly, I don't know. I wish I knew. I wish I knew, guys. Me personally, I wish I knew. I wish that I knew, guys. Me personally, I wish I knew. But I don't. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know what to say, guys. Alright. So let's go ahead and jump into the more detailed story. Let's jump into the more detailed story. Alright, let's go ahead. Alright. Alrighty then. Let's see. Alright. I think that he might honestly I think he got cloned. So final question before we move on, guys. Do you think that celebrities deal with way more scrutiny than normal people? I mean, would you think that just because someone looks different, they probably got cloned? I don't know. I probably think that the celebrities are used to influence people a lot. So I think that they probably do have clones of some celebrities. My baby mama showed me was. I think she talked to me about this movie named Tyrone, Big Clone Tyrone, or did I see that on a what's it called on an ad? I forgot. Okay, but um, she told me. I think she told me she explained it to me where they clone people, and it's a pretty crazy movie. So and thousands of people repeat the same theory, starts to seem real. All right, do you guys think that sometimes the internet actually does catch weird things, and maybe sometimes it could be real? All right, so that's the first tea of the night, guys. Let's move on to the next topic. Let's move on to the next topic of the night. The next topic of the night, and this is what my baby mama told me, is that measles are breaking out, guys. There is a measles breakout. All right, guys, let's go ahead and see what the measles are. The measles outbreak.
En la noche hasta allá conmigo a lo que estoy media dormida.
Measles outbreak, guys. Measles outbreak. And let's bring up the map.
No, es que nada más con que la cierren despacio. No la dejes caer.
Measles outbreak, guys. The measles outbreak. Let's get the measles outbreak on the what's it called?
Caer suena. Así está la de la Sonia también. ¿No ves que la puerta, no ves que el nivel está así? Y la puerta se viene recio. Porque si esa la cierras, esa, si le das recio, sí suena también recio, pero... Una puerta debe de cerrarla mucho. Pero la tiene que detener uno para que no suene.
Okay, so measles outbreak 2026. Let's go ahead and change this up. So the measles outbreak in 2026 is pretty intense. Alright guys, it's pretty intense. Let me tell you guys, there are 378 cases reported just yesterday. Just yesterday, guys. 378 cases. That's more than the whole year combined. That's more than every year combined. Alright, guys? That's more than every year combined, guys. Alright, so... Alright, guys. So let's go ahead and talk about this. Let's talk about the measles outbreak, guys. Alright, chat. Second tea tonight. This is the second tea tonight. Alright, this one is actually something serious that people have been debating a lot online lately. There have been reports about measles outbreaks in certain areas, and the topic has turned into a massive online debate. And every time something like this happens, the internet becomes a battlefield of opinions. So for anyone who doesn't know, measles is a very contagious viral illness that used to be extremely common before vaccines became widely used, but in the recent years, outbreaks have popped up again in certain places. Alright? And when that happens, people start arguing about things like vaccines, school safety, public health rules, personal freedoms. Alright, chat, why do you guys think that health topics become so heated online? Alright, let's discuss the social media reactions. One interesting thing about the internet is how fast information spreads. Sometimes helpful information spreads quickly, but sometimes misinformation spreads just as fast or even faster. And when people only listen to the information that matches their belief, the argument just gets bigger. Alright, do you guys think that media makes arguments worse? Or do you guys think that it helps people become more informed, huh? What do you guys think, huh? My takeaway from the situation like this is that health topics affect everyone, so emotions run highly deep. People think about their families, their kids, their communities. So it makes sense that people feel strongly about it. All right, chat. That was the second tea for tonight. Let's go ahead and jump on to the last one. That's going to be the Elon Musk controversies. All right, Elon Musk controversies. What is the controversy with Elon Musk? What's going on? All right, actually, I'm going to stop the chat right there, guys. I hope you guys have a good night. All right, guys?